Hey, I'm Amanda from Trifecta Fitness. We're proud to be Clarksville's new Get Fit headquarters. Trifecta Fitness is a state-of-the-art spin and strength training studio. Our spin studio is truly one of a kind in this area, complete with 20 state-of-the-art live fitness bikes and an incredible sound system. Our strength training is done in small groups of 6 or fewer, and all of our strength and spin classes are scalable for every level of experience. Come see us in the heart of Clarksville, just behind MAPCO at the corner of Old Trenton Road and Wilma Rudolph Boulevard. Call us for more info at 931-542-6265 or download our Trifecta Fitness app for a full list of upcoming classes.
Welcome back.
MisFitNation. MisFitNation.
We are a show founded by veterans and hosted by veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their story to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the MisFitNation. If you're a musician or actor, our audience needs to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches, we love our coaches. Come on, share some of your tips with the audience to help them become better versions of themselves. If you're a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and share how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you're a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and just share your story with the MisFitNation. We always have time for you. Reach out, we will get you on. If you are feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle, or are embarrassed to share that with them, please dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make it a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you're a new listener, welcome to the MisFitNation. Be sure to subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast apps and also on our YouTube channel at @the_MisFitNation. That's @the_MisFitNation. Subscribe and click the bell. This will keep you up to date with all of our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Electrocast Media and About Face Radio. This will keep you up, tuned into us, and learn more about our great guests.
All right, our guest tonight is having technical difficulties, so we're going to play a pre-record for now until they can get in. But please keep tuned, keep in tune, and we'll let you know when they're able to get into the stream. Thank you. Please subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast apps. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Why do we eat bananas? And I would say potassium. Like I was all kind of trained to think about nutrients. And then me and my sister would play the little cereal box game in the morning where she would say, how much calcium is in here? And I would always know. And she thought I was sneaking down in the middle of the night to check and memorize the cereal box labels. But I just always loved it. And also, I grew up in Los Angeles. So I was a dancer and I was an actress, like a lot of people here in Los Angeles. And I was often told, like even starting at age 11, that I needed to watch my weight and my snacks. My teacher called out in front of all my peers in my ballet class. And so because of that, I started reading. And I wanted to know everything there was about diet and weight loss. And then I got really interested in body image and all of that stuff. And it just kind of unfolded over a course of a lifetime. But when I was about 16 years old and I stumbled on a book called Diet for a New America by John Robbins. And I learned about how food ended up on the plate and all of the other implications associated with how we eat. And I was blown away. So then I wanted to not eat animal products and I didn't know how to do that. And so I just kept studying and learning over the many, many years. And as an actress, I was looking for a side job. So I thought, oh, I'll become a personal trainer because I love that too. And as soon as I became a personal trainer and I graduated from undergrad, people were asking me questions about nutrition. And I didn't want to just spit back information that I had memorized from a chapter in my personal training handbook. I wanted to know why I was saying what I was saying and what really was the truth. I was kind of in search for the answers, like what are the true secrets to nutrition and diet and all of that. And so I quickly signed up for graduate school and that was it. I fell in love. Like it was the first time in my life. I loved school. I was getting straight A's for the first time, and I found my calling. And then as soon as it took me 7 years because I was personal training full time, and I had my baby, my daughter, and finished grad school. So then I quit personal training and I just started digging into the science on nutrition and converted my practice over to nutrition. And then I started talking about plant-based nutrition, and then everything just started flowing. Like I was asked to write my first book, and then I was asked to be on the Dr. Oz show, and I had my own, like everything just started unfolding because I found my path and everything I was so passionate about that it was just, I just love my career. I just unfolded kind of without planning, really.
So it's kind of a happy accident, basically. So that's awesome. And you kind of went on that ride, and you made decisions based off reading a book and seeing what, and based on basically body shaming through life. The most young girls go through it more than guys, or guys just kind of brush it off until they're older and say, "Man, that guy used to call me that," but I didn't understand why. But girls kind of take it to heart a little more. And I know my daughter was bullied a lot in school, and she made the choice to become a vegetarian in junior year of high school on her own. I wasn't here; I was deployed overseas, and I got the email saying that, and I was like, "No, we're meat eaters. You can't do that. What are you doing? That's not us." And but I mean, she's been doing it now, I think 10 years now, so she's well into it. She loves what she does now, and she's also a personal trainer now.
Good for her. That's wonderful. And it's great that you supported her.
I had to. I figured I had to learn how to cook for her to make sure she was eating enough, and then because she was still playing soccer at the time, so I went and tried to find recipes, and had a friend, one of my buddies, his wife was also vegetarian. I said, "Tell me what you cook, so I can cook for her and make sure she's still eating right and stuff." So I did everything I could to help her. Now she does it all on her own.
Good dad. That's awesome.
So I guess that was my dad points for that part of life since I was gone so much.
Yeah, no, it's
So
hard. And my
yeah,
parents didn't support me at all. And they took me away from it, and they were worried about me. And there weren't resources like there are today, which is why I feel really honored that I've been able to provide new resources for people like that want to do it at a young age and don't know how to do it. And but it's never been a better time. It really did get popular. Like I called myself the plant-based dietitian before that was a thing, and now it's really a thing. So things have really evolved over the last 10 or 15 years. And yeah, my daughter too, she's been a lifelong vegetarian and on her own volition. I just think it's so cool.
you can see your work right in front of you there. That's awesome too. That's almost a trophy as you walk around. That's good.
Exactly.
And so last year, well, yeah, a year and a half ago, I got diagnosed with something called alpha gall. I got bit by a tick and no longer can eat meat. So that made my daughter very happy. Especially, she said, "Oh, now you can eat with me." I said, "I've been eating with you, just not the same stuff. Now we can eat. So we eat the same stuff now." So,
Okay, you're the first person I've actually met that had that happen to. I've read about it in the news, but I never met someone that has actually gone through that.
it was a shocker to me. I had a lot of pains after eating. I think a Philly cheesesteak I ate, and I fell on the floor. I was almost gasping for air. So I wrote my doctor on a severe circular message, and he wrote me right back. So you got to get a blood test tomorrow. I got a blood test, and he messaged me back at 9 o'clock at night. So I knew when I got the message back late, it was bad news. No matter what, if you
Uh-huh.
get a doctor's message that late at night, it has to be something bad. And so, oh man, I've been doomed, and so I've been adjusting to that life now.
That is amazing. Well, it's good for your daughter.
Yeah, she gets a win. Yeah.
Yes. And it's good for you because obviously there's really amazing research on the long-term advantages of eating a plant-based diet. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise, really.
Definitely. And I mean, I was overseas in Korea, and they basically don't eat a lot of meat there. Most of their meals are heavy vegetable and a little bit of meat, unless you go to a high class restaurant where they do the galbi and stuff. But most of them have a lot of vegetables, so we'd eat all that, and I wouldn't think about it, like the kimchi's and stuff like that. It's all vegetables. You eat all that, you have no problem with it, and you never think that's what you're doing until when you can't have the meat anyway. So I can just eat all the kimchi now. It's just I'll eat all day. My wife will be unhappy, but it'll be great.
Exactly. That's awesome.
I was looking on, I think it was on your Instagram, and I seen like the little board you had on there. And there's a thing about potatoes. I mean, me and my daughter love making different colored potatoes and stuff. We used to call it color matching potatoes. Why should everyone love potatoes? I seen that on there. I knew I had to ask that here. Why should people love potatoes?
I know potatoes get such a bad rap, but
They
they're
do.
amazing foods. They're so good, and everyone loves them. People think they're not supposed to eat them because they're quote unquote fattening, and people kind of call them carbs or whatever, and they're not. They're just a vegetable, a starchy vegetable, and they're known scientifically, they've been shown to be the most satisfying food. So they're super satiating and satisfying. They are very versatile. You know, you can make all sorts of things. You can make, I'm making mashed potatoes tomorrow, and you can make air fries, and you can make casseroles and hash browns, and there's so many delicious ways to incorporate potatoes. So it's a real versatile food. They're also very portable. I take them when I travel on planes all the time because they're just really satisfying and yummy. You can take all the different flavors and different colors, like you said, all the different colors. And they're just wonderful, nutritious foods. And shockingly, here's a fun fact: white potatoes, the plain old carby, you know, everyone thinks they're like not healthy at all. They actually have a better amino acid score than 90% lean beef, which is quite shocking gram for gram. So you're actually getting some protein, you're getting some folate, some vitamin C. It's really a wonderful food.
All right, our guest for the evening has arrived. She's in the green room right now. She's an American actress, model, singer, and fashion designer. She is best known for her role as Pippi Longstocking in the 1988 movie, The New Adventures of Pippi Longstocking. So those of you who watched it back then, you're feeling like I do right now, not so young anymore. She was appointed as a United Nations ambassador that same year for UNICEF. Highlights included speaking at the World Children's Day at the United Nations, New York City to the delegates of over 100 countries in the General Assembly Hall. Further, she became an international ambassador for Hearts.com to raise funds for the I Heart Change program for 6 international charities. So without further ado, let's welcome Tami Erin to the Misfit Nation. Welcome, Tami.
Hey, hi guys.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Doing wonderful.
Glad you were able to get connected and get in here with us.
Yeah, I was in the middle of I'm sorry, a little bit late, but I was in the middle of a Zoom call. So yeah, it kind of overlapped a little bit, but I kind of set myself up in my office that I've been kind of completing with my memorabilia and stuff behind me.
Nice. So you have everything hanging on the wall there. So I just gave a little snippet of what most people know about you anyway. A quick Google search will find that on you.
Yeah.
What else if you want to give us a little more of your backstory for as far back as you want to go to where we are now, that'd be great for the Misfit Nation.
Well, so I started my career at 8 years old as an elite model doing national modeling and commercials. And then I went on to my first movie was when I won the role of Pippi Longstocking out of over 8,000 young actresses worldwide. And that movie itself was 3.5 years of work. It was a year and a half of pre-production, production, and then the world tour. So that was amazing. During the world tour, I was the guest of the King, Queen of Sweden, and also Princess Nori in Japan, and then 4 cities in Germany and 13 cities in the US. And then I continued acting. I've done a bunch of movies and television interviews. I've been in a bunch of fashion magazines as a model. And also I became an entrepreneur and a fashion designer. So I had my own fashion company for 5 years, and I have designed 2 other lines. I co-designed a line with La Fine Clothing that was sold all over the world, as far off as Russia and Japan, all over Europe, all over the US. And that was a Pippi Longstocking inspired line. So yeah, and then I've traveled. I've been to 16 countries so far, and pretty much every state in the US. So, and something very exciting that I wanted to let your listeners know about. I have a really exciting appearance coming up the first week of June 3rd, Saturday, June 3rd, at the Outsiders House Museum, which is the Outsiders House Museum is at the house where they filmed the movie The Outsiders. And with Francis Ford Coppola and that all-star cast. So that's coming up on the 3rd. Danny Boy from House of Pain. So if you guys are into the 80s, it's The Outsiders. Danny Boy from House of Pain is one of the investors in the Outsiders Museum. And then my movie is playing on the lawn with the food trucks and autograph signings and the whole thing. So it's going to be really exciting. There's still tickets left. So you can go to the Outsiders House Museum for the tickets or TamiErin.com.
And that's in Tulsa on June 3rd, right, at the Outsiders House Museum.
Yes. Saturday, June 3rd in Tulsa at the Outsiders House Museum. Yeah.
Wow,
That's one of them. I have a couple others, but.
are they all at I guess 80s themed places as well, or is that the only one that really catches the 80s?
That one is definitely the 80s, and I'm super excited about it because I met with them like a year ago to get all of this ball rolling. And now this year is the 35th anniversary for my movie, The New
Right.
Adventures of Pippi Longstocking. When I call it my movie, it's not obviously, it's, you know, a collaboration and all, but it is from my heart. So it's the 35th anniversary that the movie's been selling in 13 languages worldwide. And that's crazy, 35 years. So that is one of the first appearances. Later in the summer, I'm going to Amelia Island, Jacksonville, and Fernandina Beach, which is where we filmed. So I'm doing some appearances there. They're shutting down Main Street, giving me my own day, a Pippi Longstocking official day. And yeah, and then a few other appearances that are coming up this summer that I know about. Two that were booked today, though, are not 80s. I'm popular with witches, the witchcraft community. So I was booked today for Harvest Fest, and they have another event called Witch Stock, which is, you know, I guess it's just like a music festival, but it's for, I guess, a lot of witches and Wiccan practitioners. It sounds fun. I'm excited.
You'll be the real outsider there, I'm guessing. So is that going to be in Salem?
No, that's actually going to be here in, I want to say Salisaw, but I know it'll be up on TamiErin.com, but it's in Oklahoma. It's about an hour from Grand Lake, so it's close to Tulsa. But yeah, but what I'm hoping that I'll get out of it, though, if they can give me a love spell and then like how to put a curse on someone. Just
those two things.
Just those two.
I mean, you're not asking for much there. Just a love spell and how to put a hex on someone.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll go over well with everyone now that it's on the air and on the radio. Everyone has heard you ask for it. And
no,
so,
and also, but further, Tommy said, he said, be careful if anyone, like, if they, you know, like, how it's so nice to meet you, and then they pull out a lock of your hair.
And then they have a doll at their house with your hair.
Yeah, exactly.
And you'll have more than a love potion. You'll have a whole other TV show. You might wind up on Ghost Hunters.
Yeah.
So of all that, in 35 years of basically being Pippi Longstocking,
yeah,
in all these countries, what is your favorite place you have been to, and what fans have been the best to you?
Well, all of them are great. The first one that I went to was super exciting, and that was Tokyo, Japan. And that's where I was the guest for 2 weeks, the guest of Princess Nori, Emperor Hirohito's granddaughter. And so meeting her was incredible. And I gave her a doll. I have my own doll in 5 sizes. It's actually behind me. I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera. But yeah, I have my own doll. So I gave her my own doll. I sang the song a cappella to this huge crowd for the first Royal World Premiere. It's amazing to have one Royal World Premiere, but then we had 2 of them. That was the most exciting. And it was the first time ever that I was chased by fans. Not in a bad way. They weren't chasing me they were chasing me because I stood out, like, you know, because I'm American, and they're like, and it was all this press. I was doing press nonstop since I got there. And the press was actually waiting for me when I got off the plane. And so, yeah, that was it. It felt just a little bit like a small bit like a Paris Hilton. So it was really cool.
Paris Hilton before she was Paris Hilton. So that's good. You got to do it first. Was there any other movies at that time that you tried out for, and then this is the one that actually clicked?
No, you know what's wild about that is that no, that was my first movie audition, and obviously, and I had been doing commercials and modeling for 3 years, but it was my first movie audition, and then of course there were the callbacks, the screen test, and then the final screen test for me to be announced. And the other girls that were the last 3 of us was myself, Jenny Lewis, who starred in Troop Beverly Hills, and Faye Masterson, who went on to do a bunch of movies, but she got the role as the head girl in the orphanage in The New Adventures of Pippi Longstocking. So, yeah. But no, I actually, once I was cast in that role, I was chosen by Garrison True, who also found Aileen Quinn for Annie. And so no, once I signed that contract, because it was a 2-movie deal, and with endorsement deals and all these things, I was locked into my contract until we were finished filming what was to be the second movie. We finished the first one, the world tour, but I was locked into my contract that whole time. So I couldn't audition for anything else. The only things that I could do were endorsement deals. I had Aquafresh, Hostess Cupcakes, things like that. After that, then I took a break from my career, and then I went back to it in my early 20s.
Oh wow. So being locked in kind of slowed you a little bit, and well, you got Aquafresh out of the deal. A lot of people probably don't even know what Aquafresh is now. It's toothpaste, by
Aquafresh
the way.
toothpaste, yeah,
Yes.
and Hostess Cupcakes. I actually had my own trading card at the bottom of all of the chocolate Hostess Cupcakes, coast to
Oh,
coast.
wow. Hope you don't have those cupcakes still in the house.
No, but I've got the trading cards. Oh my God, my memorabilia collection is incredible.
And I've seen you're going to do a memorabilia auction as well.
Yes, so I have 3 of the costumes, and they've been in storage this whole time. Once we finished filming, they were put into storage, and then I haven't gotten them out since. And then the 35-year anniversary, Tami spoke with memorabilia experts in Las Vegas to auction one of them. And so yes, one of them is going to be auctioned, and it's the Pippi Longstocking pirate costume on the cover of the DVD. So stay posted to TamiErin.com for those dates. And if you want to put in a bid for it, and that could be yours. The other 2 that I have that I'm not going to be auctioning, I have the Scrubbing Day costume, and I also have the one behind me, which is the Running Away costume.
All right. So you keep that one, okay.
I took them out now. I have them out now because we moved to a beautiful house in Grand Lake. And so I decided my office, I wanted to fill it up with photos of me filming on the set, red carpets, photos with other celebrities, and then put up my costumes and memorabilia. Yeah, and make this my Hollywood office.
I think all you need to do is put the movie poster up behind you, and that'd be perfect.
It actually is. I have to frame it. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there, but
let's see it now.
Yeah. The other wall.
Okay, I can see it now. Now you pointed it out because there's a glare there.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm still setting all of this up. So, but I think it's starting to come together.
And it's awesome that you're able to do that, and we're able to keep all the memorabilia, especially intact for 35 years. That's a long time to keep a lot of memorabilia.
Yeah, well, I've collected it over the years, but there were just boxes and boxes and bankers boxes of newspapers and magazines and all kinds of stuff that was kept for me. So so I'm really lucky that I have all this, to display and all the memories. And that, by the way, behind me, that is my United Nations plaque.
Up to the backside there, yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you still active with the United Nations as you were back then?
No, what it was, I was the United Nations ambassador for UNICEF that year, which was an exclusive appointment to United Nations, which means I was the only one. And that plaque is for me being the special guest speaker at World Children's Day at the United Nations, New York City, and speaking to the delegates of over 100 countries in the General Assembly Hall, which is where the presidents speak. Like, it was so awesome, beyond awesome. But since then, I was 13 and 14, 1988, when for that appointment. And since then, though, I've worked with dozens of charities that help children, feeding the hungry and homeless, and also animal charities. And when I did my speech, it was about the hunger, education, and wartime issues that children face globally. So it was a great honor, but it also opened my eyes and sent me on a path of further humanitarian work whenever I was asked to participate or help raise funds or speak on their behalf. And yeah.
And all those topics are very important still today, as what's going on in Europe and African countries at this time, as far as war and things, and kids with famine, and education is at a high priority for those children, as well as kids in America right now. A lot of kids in America are behind a little bit because of COVID, and losing a lot of the education chances that they had, or basically just getting put back about 2 years because they didn't do much during those 2 years of doing computer learning.
Yeah, what it opened my eyes to was, not to sound silly about it, but I had no idea the struggles that children faced and how much of an opportunity there would be in my life to help and to give back and to also raise awareness. And everybody can really, volunteerism is available to everyone who wants to to help. So yeah, I'm really, really lucky. And it was, like I said, that was a great honor. That plaque, by the way, if there's only one special guest speaker at the World Children's Day each year, because I was the special guest speaker, there's only 42 of those in the entire world. That blows my mind. How lucky I am.
That's outstanding. And the next year, are you invited back to introduce the next one, or you just basically fade away after that year?
After that year, that was it. I didn't have any more speaking engagements. I spoke for them in Sweden, and I also spoke on behalf of the United Nations in Germany during the world tour, and then World Children's Day with the delegates of over 100 countries. After that, I didn't have anything else that I had to do with them. But I did find out years later, for the longest time, I was told that I was the youngest in history. I believe that Selena Gomez, not only did she knock me into second place, I don't even know if I'm in second place anymore. Selena Gomez came along and did it when she was 13. So, but I mean, it's Selena Gomez. So of course I'm going to name drop that. And why wouldn't I be like super honored, like super probably, wait, that's Selena Gomez. Like I'm in the same club as her. That's awesome.
Whole generation past us there. So that's good. You're still relevant because you were able to do that and able to touch the minds of many, especially like you said, that's a place where usually world leaders get to go and stand in front of them and speak. You were a young lady at the time and got to go in there full of nerves probably and spoke to all the heads of state with their headphones on so they can hear you in their languages. And that's an amazing accomplishment.
Thank you. Yeah. So I don't know if you noticed, there was a little bit of commotion. My cat came into my office. So Tommy had to come and get him out of the get him going. But yeah, it's a very special part of my career. And I actually just signed with an agent here in Tulsa. I live at Grand Lake now, Grand Lake, Oklahoma, and I love it. If you have not been to Grand Lake, you've got to come out here. This summer, it's going to be boating and yachting and all kinds of fun water sports. So I just signed with an agency in Tulsa to do more acting work. And yeah, so she's going to be having me attend galas and do further humanitarian work and speeches and things along those lines in my area that I live now, which will be really fun. And I'm excited about that.
And that'll broaden your reach just in your area and then hopefully get picked up for another show or another movie along the way.
Yeah, that's always, it's always that way. And I kind of just, I leave it up to the universe because they come and find me. All the movies that I've been doing, they come and they find me. So, and interviews that I do and, all of those things. So yeah, I just keep putting myself out there as much as possible. And yeah, and then, whenever they're ready for me. And right now I'm also finally sitting down now that we've moved, settled into our house, got all of that. Now I'm finally building my story time on YouTube, which is about the 16 countries that I've been to and all the celebrities I've hung out with and just all the adventures that I've had throughout my life. And also taking the viewers along with me to my appearances so they can see all the fun that I'm having and all the traveling that I do, because I'm up for adventure any day of the week, all the time. I would travel every day if I could.
You get a little tired probably. And your appearances be a lot shorter since you'd be on the road or in the air a lot.
Yeah, I love that. I just love that type of busy, life and just meeting new people and seeing new cultures and just being in different places all the time. I just love that. I like that kind of pace. Yeah.
Definitely. Once again, plug where you're going to be in Tulsa on the 3rd.
I'm going to be at the Outsiders House Museum in Tulsa, Oklahoma on Saturday, June 3rd. And it's going to be the movie on the lawn with the new Adventures of Pippi Longstocking, and Danny Boy from House of Pain, who's one of the owners of the Outsiders House Museum, is going to be there as well. I'll be signing autographs and taking pictures. There's going to be a bunch of food trucks and movie on the lawn. It's going to be a really awesome event. So go to the Outsiders House Museum for tickets or stubwire.com, or always check my stuff out at TamiErin.com, TamiErin, TamiErin.com for all my links and to keep up with what I'm doing. And my merch store, shoppippi.com.
I think I have that with your link tree going across the bottom there with all your links on there. I think it has your YouTube, everything on there, TikTok, and then of course I think your merch site is on there as well.
Yep.
So that's awesome. And you're staying busy, and you can also, plug the witch, I guess, the witch totem. What you say?
Yeah,
Witch,
so that's in
witch
so
stock.
yeah,
Sorry.
Witch Stock, I believe so. It's Harvest Fest and Witch Stock, which are two different events, but they're connected and they're from a big organization in Oklahoma. They are coming up in September 11th, 12th, and 13th. So, but yeah, just check. I will always post everything on my website for everybody to see what I'm doing. I'm also going to be doing some special guest coaching in Tulsa for the Say Law Agency. I'm going to go in and teach some acting to some kids. So yes, if you want to sign up for that, I don't know what the registration is. I'm not handling that. I'm just handling going in and the curriculum and going in and teaching and working with the kids. So
Awesome. You're staying active and you're keeping pushing forward. That's great. And keeping Pippi Longstocking alive, so for this next generation to enjoy it as well. 35 years after after your version of it. And you still have all the memorabilia behind you. You have the auction coming up. You have the Outsiders House Museum coming up with the show and the movie on the lawn. That's going to be outstanding. If I was in Oklahoma, we'd probably be there. So, just 2 inches away in Tennessee. So we'll see if we can make it.
okay, cool. Yeah, love to see you.
Awesome. If you can give advice to someone that's either getting into the business of acting or even fashion design and stuff like that, what would that be right now?
Follow your dreams. You have to, like, I told my parents when I was 6 years old, I want to be a movie star. That's apparently what I thought. Like, I guess I thought that was glamour, but I told them that. And then, the opportunities started to happen. The doors started opening and just naturally, it was just a destiny for me. So follow your dreams, manifest what you want, believe in yourself, and, align yourself with what your goals are. Everything that I've achieved as far as the fashion company and the movies and even the fashion magazines that I've been in, because I'm too short to be a runway model, but I was in Vogue and Elle for Nexus. So all these dreams, they kind of came to me, but it's because I dreamed them. I had the bravery to dream them and to really align myself with the opportunities. So believe in yourself and pursue it. Get a good agent, get a solid agent who's going to represent you properly. And just go for it. And then if you want to get into fashion, that company fell into my lap. All I can say is just have fun with it. And if you have an opportunity to get into it, sure. But I don't have a ton. I got really lucky with that one. So I don't have a ton of advice. I would just say follow your dreams and work hard.
And pursue everything you dream of. So that's the best thing to do.
Yeah, and find good mentors. That's another great piece of advice. I had great mentors that helped me to start my businesses in a way that they were profitable from the beginning and learn how to scale them. So I would definitely recommend that you find mentors in the area of expertise that you want to get into and have them guide you on your path and give you, the right advice to save you some time and help you succeed faster.
Awesome, Tami. This has been great catching up with you, and just not make it 35 years till the next time we see you again here on the Misfit Nation. Hopefully, we get to see you again sometime in the near future and see what other great things you're doing for the world.
Okay, thanks so much. It's great. It's great being here.
Have a great night.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. It's themisfitnation.com to catch up on all of our episodes and also to get some of that great Misfit Nation gear. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling because we are